Scott, thank you for joining us. We take 2 out of a possible 3 points tonight in our opening Bristol Street Motors Trophy game. Can I get your reflection on the game first?
Yeah, really enjoyed the game. I thought it was a really good performance. I thought we controlled the game, dominated possession throughout, played out from the back, played through the thirds, scored 2 great goals in open play, and the penalties were very good as well, I must say. But yeah, I thought we were good tonight. I thought we pressed really well as well, stopped them from playing. You know, they're a team that want to hold possession themselves and play out from the back. I think their goalkeeper probably kicked it up the pitch more than he's ever done. So no, we were really pleased, and I thought there were some really good performances tonight.
Yeah, they're always sort of different games when we play against these academy sides because they're very young, they're very energetic, and as you said, they like to move the ball around quite a lot. That's the way we see a lot of these academies play. So a slightly different test, but it's a good workout, isn't it? I suppose I'm sure we covered a lot of distance tonight as well.
Yeah, it is a different test from what we're used to. But yeah, and the distances were really high actually. I think even Panucci, Kamara played 60 minutes covered, nearly 10k, which is ridiculous. You know, his running stats were through the roof. But yeah, it was a really good evening of football. I thought we played really well. I thought there was some very good football on display tonight. Some really good actions. I'm looking forward to actually watching it back to clip it all up, ready for Thursday for a debrief. But no, I was pleased.
Yeah, and lots of minutes for lots of the players who haven't had obviously a lot of league minutes. So that's always good to have fresh legs, because we're going to need them in these games coming up, aren't we? Yeah,
these games are really important for that reason alone, just to make sure the boys who are on the edges of the team, that they get in minutes in competitive football. So we obviously had that tonight. But like I say, I actually really enjoyed the game. I felt that we controlled the game pretty much. I think the last 10 minutes we looked a little bit like off the pace a little bit maybe, just towards the end of the game, which obviously they get back in the game, make it two apiece, and then all of a sudden we've got to see the game through and get through in terms of the penalties. So, but I actually enjoyed watching the penalties as well because I thought we held our nerve really well and scored some cracking penalties, didn't we? So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I suppose the only position that we're really struggling for a lot of depth at the moment is centre backs. Obviously, we've had to keep the same trio of centre backs. But obviously we were able to get Malarkey off at half-time, which, it's good to give him a bit of a rest, and it allowed Charlie to slot back in there. Are you having a hard sort of decision to make about Charlie at the moment, because he's put in 2 really good performances a little bit further up the park and scored a great goal this evening?
Yeah, not really. No, I think it's clear what we're doing every week. I think it's really clear. Charlie's done great. I thought he was good tonight. I think he can play that pivot role really well as well. I don't think we can pigeonhole him just as a centre-back, because I don't think he is. I think he is a centre-back, but I think that we don't need to pigeonhole him there. I think he can play in that pivot role and play it really well. So yeah, I was pleased with Charlie tonight. Liked him a lot. And yeah, you're right, we're a little bit thin on the ground. Obviously Dion's missing still. And we are trying to bring another one in sort of like one of them 3 positions at the back, just to thicken up a little bit in terms of numbers. But the boys who played are robust, Flint is really robust. Joy was outstanding tonight, again robust. And Toby, he felt his back a little bit, so we felt it was probably the right thing to do to bring him off at half-time.
Yeah, and it leads us nicely into a nice long away trip on Saturday against Wigan, and then obviously a big cup tie on Tuesday as we face the senior team of Brighton. So there's a lot to look forward to in the next couple, isn't there?
There is, yeah. Now I watched Brighton today. Against Everton. I watched that this afternoon before I set off for the game today, just to kind of get a measure of that. So I enjoyed watching that game. They did well, obviously, won 3-0 away at Everton, so a good start for them. But it was interesting watching their first team, who played in similar way to what these boys did tonight. But it was good. And then obviously tomorrow all my focus will be on Wigan, and looking at what their strengths are and weaknesses, and putting a game plan together for Thursday.
Perfect. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Charlie, thank you for joining us. We get 2 points out of a possible 3 here tonight. Can I get your overall reflection on the game?
Yeah, obviously we wanted to win the game, but obviously coming away with 2 points is the next best thing. I thought we played really well. So I think we deserve that tonight. Bit disappointing we couldn't keep the winning run going, but I thought the lads done really well tonight.
Yeah, you've obviously had some cameos in the last couple of games, but obviously good for yourself to get as many minutes as possible. I think by the end you probably wish that it was nearing the end, a bit of cramp there, but for yourself it must be good to just get some decent minutes out there.
Yeah, that's the most minutes I played this season. Wanted to get through the 90, but I just couldn't get there. Really enjoyed it tonight. Enjoyed being out there.
Yeah, we obviously had a cameo on Tuesday night against Swindon. I think you're going to have a hard time convincing anyone that you're actually a centre-back, because the Scott was really impressed with how you filled in that role on Tuesday against Swindon. Obviously, you played there for a lot of the game tonight and scored a great goal as well. Is that something that you're sort of embracing and enjoying?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it in there. I think it's another thing I can do. I'm new to it. I want to learn it. I'm really enjoying it in there, and keep getting minutes in there, keep learning it, and just keep getting better at the role.
Yeah, Scott's expressed his sort of desire to not pigeonhole players into, certain positions, and for yourself, obviously, that's going to work great because we've got great competition at the centre-back position, which is obviously the position where a lot of fans will be familiar with you playing. So to sort of open the options for yourself, which will, naturally allow you to play some more minutes as well, in league action, it must be great.
Yeah, I don't want to say I'm a centre-half and that's it. I think I'm a player where I have attributes where I can be used in other places. The gaffer obviously thinks I can do a job in here. He's trusted me in there, given me the opportunity. I've really enjoyed it. So, yeah, I'm never going to say no to playing somewhere. I'm open to give anything a go, and yeah, it's working quite well.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk about the goal. It was a great strike. I don't think you had anything else in your mind, did you, when the ball sat up so perfectly on the edge of the box?
Nah, when it was bouncing out, I thought I'm putting my laces through this and see what happens, and then sort of swaz around a few people and ends up hitting the post and going in. I weren't really sure where it was going to end up, but I'm happy it's ended up there.
Yeah, and as we said, great minutes for yourself this evening, and Scott's been clearly impressed with sort of how you played in the last couple of matches. So you'll be giving him sort of something to think about. With lots of league fixtures coming up, we've obviously got more cup games coming up with Brighton next week. The senior team. So it's the perfect time, isn't it, to be sort of making your way into the squad and getting as many minutes as possible.
Yeah, there's loads of games coming up, so there's going to be opportunities hopefully, and I just want to be ready and if an opportunity comes. The boys are playing really well at the moment, and I just want to, if I do get an opportunity, just try and fit right in and not really look like there's been a change.
Perfect. Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.